History of Pompeii. The excavated city presents a unique glimpse of Roman life frozen at the moment it was buried, yet much of the specific evidence of its residents' ordinary lives was destroyed in the excavations. Rich town with a population of 11,000 in AD 79, it had numerous excellent public structures and sumptuous private dwellings with expensive decorations, furnishings, and works of art, which attracted early excavators. Ash buried organic remnants like wood and bodies. They decomposed, leaving gaps that archaeologists exploited to construct plaster casts of unique, often grotesque, figures in their dying moments. The classical writer's formal language contrasts with the graffiti on walls and within buildings, which show the largely extinct vulgar Latin spoken commonly at the time. Pompeii is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Italy's most famous tourist destinations, with 2.5 million visitors annually. Geography. Pompeii was built 40 meters 130 feet above sea level on a coastal lava terrace formed by Mount Vesuvius eruptions 8 kilometers or 5 miles away. The plateau plummeted south and west towards the sea. 3 layers of debris from huge landslides cover the lava, possibly caused by prolonged rainfall. Once on the shoreline, the city is now 700 meters 2,300 feet inland. The city's lagoon-protected Sarno River mouth was a haven for early Greek and Phoenician mariners, later exploited by the Romans. Based on household figures, Pompeii had 11,000 to 11,500 people and 64 to 67 hectares, 160 to 170 acres. Early history. First stable settlements on location date to 8th century BC when central Italian Oscans erected 5 villages. Pompeii became Hellenic once the Greeks arrived in Campania around 740 BC. The Doric temple in the triangular forum, built out from the center, is the most important building of this period. At the same time, Apollo cult began. The port was safe for Greek and Phoenician sailors. The village coalesced into a single community centered on the key intersection between Kyme, Nola, and Stabia and encompassed by a tufa city wall in the early 6th century BC. The first wall, which was also the base for the later wall, contained a much larger area than the early town and considerable agricultural land. That such a grand wall was built at this time suggests the town was wealthy and significant. The city grew and marine trade began with a tiny port near the river mouth. The strata underneath the Samnite and Roman buildings and the uneven street plan indicate that the earliest settlement was in regions 7 and 8, the ancient town. City walls. In the early 5th century BC, 2 facades of rather thin, vertically arranged Sarno limestone slabs 4 meters, 13 feet, apart filled with dirt fortified the city wall. Kyme, allied with Syracuse, defeated the Etruscans at the Battle of Kyme in 474 BC and took power. The Samnite period. Odeon Large Theatre. The Jupiter Temple, 2nd century BC, between 450 and 375 BC, substantial parts of the city were abandoned and important sanctuaries like the Temple of Apollo lacked votive goods. The Roman allies Samnites from Abruzzo and Molise defeated Greek Kyme between 423 and 420 BC. All surrounding territory, including Pompeii, was presumably seized around 424 BC. New overlords eventually expanded the town and imposed their architecture. The Roman period. Pompeii, one of Campania's social war's rebel cities, was besieged by Sulla in 89 BC, who targeted the strategically vulnerable Porta Ercolano with his artillery, as can be seen in the wall's thousands of ballista-shot impact craters. Several nearby structures inside the fortifications were destroyed. Lucius Cluentius' battle-hardened social league warriors helped oppose the Romans, but Pompeii surrendered after Nola was conquered. Pompeii became Colonia Cornelia Veneria Pompeianorum, a Roman colony. Many Sulla veterans were given land and property in and around the city, while many Roman opponents were evicted. His city's principal language was Latin, and many Pompeii's aristocratic families Latinized their names to assimilate.